guys, I'm Aussie Villain, and welcome to the weekend preview for this week. We won't waste any time. Super Brew, obviously the predictor league. Welcome to a new participant in Gaz Monster. Mate, I apologise, I only just saw your application just as I went to record, so it's been waiting for about 2 days. Apologies, mate, but welcome aboard. It's good to have you here. Now, let's have a quick look. Let's not waste any more time and see how we did last week. And let's have a look here. Oh, the champ is here. The champ is here. Look at this. You should all be ashamed of yourself for a start. But there we go. I topped it last week. Excellent stuff. 2 results, 2 close, and 2 exact scores. So that was amazing. The Real Villain had a decent week, as did Pompey Canuck and Mr. Riley as well. Everybody else sort of 5s and O's. Come on, boys. You've got to put your tips in. You've got to put your tips in. But yeah, I think I'm as surprised as everybody else is about that. But what a week that was for me. And so if we look at the overall leaderboard, it doesn't hide the fact I've been mostly rubbish for most of the season. But Parramatta Power with the wooden spoon this week, mate. What was going on? We'll give you a week off, but that's unlike you. Gave a chance to close the gaps there to Cabrov. The Real Villain has closed right in as well. Rujistan, look at that, up 3 for me this week. And then we can see that Mr. Riley, Poppy Canuck, Gears Kale. Is it Calais? I'm if I'm mispronouncing that, which I almost certainly am, I apologise. And everybody else as we go down the list there. So let's have a look and see what the matches are this week. I always forget to sort of pre-look at this, and so God knows what's happening. Let's go to round 7 and have a look here. Sheffield United versus Liverpool. Sheffield United have been surprisingly good, haven't they? That being said, let's maybe a 2-0. A 2-0 probably sounds about right for me, that one. Bournemouth versus West Ham. Now, West Ham, they're surely going to respond to... Well, they both got a bit of a hiding midweek, didn't they, in that Carabao Cup? I think this will probably be 1-1. I think this will be a draw. I think they'll both be determined not to lose after that. My boys against Burnley. We have to win this game. Look at that. We've been playing without a little bit of luck lately as well. Burnley, not as good on the road, I don't think, are they, as they are at home. I'm going to say we ground out a 2-0. 1-0 then a late winner. I'm going to say more hope. I'm just hoping that's what the score is. That's all that is, to be honest. Have a look here. We've got Chelsea versus Brighton. Chelsea are scoring for fun right now, aren't they? Brighton are a decent enough. I'm going to say 4-1 perhaps. Chelsea's defence, we know it's not the best. So we'll say 4-1 there. Crystal Palace versus Norwich. Crystal Palace have been decent. Well, they seem to be decent enough at home. Norwich have been playing a little bit like Villa, except they've been playing better than Villa, but conceding goals. I'm going to say, is this a... I'm going to say 1-2. I'm going to say Norwich get an away win there. Yeah, I'm going to say that, I think. It's not, though, is it? It's going to be 1-1. It's going to be 1-1. Changed my mind. Tottenham versus Southampton. This is an interesting game because Spurs have been well below their best, but you still kind of fancy them, don't you? But do you fancy them on reputation rather than current form? Let's go. Let's say that they're going to absolutely capitulate, and it's going to be like crisis at Spurs. I hope I'm wrong because I have a bit of a soft spot for this particular Spurs team, if not the club in general. So I hope I'm wrong, but I just have a feeling maybe Harry Kane will nick a goal. 2-1. Can't pick my mind up here, can I? Wolves versus Watford. Both teams. Look at that form for both teams. Look at that. Wolves in particular. There hasn't been European football this week. Everybody's been playing midweek. You just think Watford have got to get better sooner or later, but I just don't think I can see it. So I'm going to say 2-0 there. What else have we got here? Everton versus Man City. I mean, Everton haven't been great lately, have they? A couple of disappointing results. City have... They're angry, I think. It's probably the best way to describe it. Let's maybe go 3-0. A comfortable 3-0, I think. Yeah. I hope I'm wrong. I do like Everton, but I just can't see it right now. Leicester City, they're dark horses for the top 4. If not, well, they're maybe the best of the rest, sort of a third spot. Newcastle won't make it easy. I'm gonna say probably a 2-0. Manchester United, Arsenal. How Arsenal beat Villa, that was just so frustrating, wasn't it? Man United, I think they're gonna struggle at home. Let's maybe say a 3-1 Arsenal. Is that too ambitious? I'm gonna say 3-1. I just don't feel like that. I mean, they scraped by Rochdale, didn't they, midweek? I just think they're under pressure at home, and I think it's getting to them. I think they do better. If this was at Arsenal, I'd almost think the other way around. But I'm going to tip Arsenal to win that. Maybe 3 is a bit ambitious. Maybe it should be 2-1. It'll probably be a tight game, won't it? No, stick with your guns. I can't even change my mind properly, can I? There we go. So I'm going to go 3-1. But everybody, anyway, everybody else, as I doubt myself massively here, don't forget you put your tips in. We are going to have some sort of prize for whoever wins at the end. But don't just give up, guys. Come on, put your tips in. Let's see how close you can go. Maybe we can do some sort of prize for anybody that beats me or something. I don't know. We'll think of something, but yeah, it always happens. I'm not going to blame you because I always forget. I'll forget. The only main reason for doing this weekend preview is to make sure I don't forget to do my tips. Now, a quick update on the Patreon Fantasy League. I didn't have the best of weeks last week, mainly because I captained Raheem Sterling, and I was so happy to see him scoring midweek in the Carabao Cup after resting the Premier League. But look at this, the Cobra Chickens FC, 62 points last week is not bad. Aaron Coleman, look at that, 39 points as well, only a point behind me, so that shows, I don't know if that shows how bad I did or how well Aaron's doing as a baseball fan. But yeah, I mean, everybody else was pretty much the same. It's just the Cobra Chickens absolutely flying away with it. If we look at my team for this week, I have made one change. I've made a transfer. I've taken out Harry Maguire. I've given up on the Manchester United defence, and I've gone for the sort of everybody's pick. I think that Lundstrom, the Sheffield United centre-back, he's not getting anywhere near the team this week as they're playing Liverpool. But what it does do is it kind of frees up a little bit of money for next week's transfer, because I think I have about just over £1 million sort of in the bank right now. So I'm going to go with Edison over... maybe I should put Nick Pope because they're playing Villa. But I'm going to keep Edison in goal. I'm bringing Mings into the starting 11 because Burnley away, I'd like to think we could keep a clean sheet there. We'll stick with my Leicester defender from Turkey and, of course, Alexander-Arnold. Salah and Sterling, I'm going to go with Sterling captain again this week, but he better not sit on the bench the whole time. Cantwell and James will be the other ones in my midfield. Ashley Barnes, isn't it? If I leave him on the bench, he's going to score against Villa. So I have to, you know how it is. I have to pick him. I was almost captain him to make sure he doesn't do anything. I'm actually tempted to do that now I say that. But Barnes, Pookie, who might get a couple at Crystal Palace, and Abraham, who's got to be worth a few at home to Brighton. And then you can see my bench there, Tarkovsky, Redmond, who's back fit, but I'll leave him on the bench for this one because I don't really. Maybe away to Spurs. Maybe I should bring him in for Cantwell, but. No, I'll leave it. So that is my team for this week. And as ever, I know this is just a Patreon thing, so apologies if you're not a Patreon and this doesn't really apply to you. There is a link down in the description if it's something you're interested in doing. It's just all Patreons. There's no sort of level of support required. But just a reminder, the Super Brew tipping is open for everybody. Just as a sort of a fun thing we can do, just as a well, I don't want to say community, but you know what I mean, as sort of watchers of the channel. So that's it. I've really got to try and get these things over 10 minutes so I can advertise on them, but that's not what this is about. So we'll, as I have, short and sweet. Good luck with your tips, and don't forget to put them in. And we'll be back next week to see how we all did. Did I hang on to my crown? Almost certainly not. But I'll see you next week, guys. Take care.